All right, so as you all know by now, over the weekend, comedian Roseanne Barr tweeted out some outrageous, not funny, by her own admission, inappropriate, over-the-line remarks about former Obama aide Valerie Jarrett. In response, we all know now that ABC has canceled the reboot of Roseanne, the sitcom. Tonight, I'm going to respond to Roseanne Barr's tweet, and I'll also highlight what is a sad but all too obvious double standard in the country, where it appears that only conservatives are held accountable for their words, their reactions, while those on the left never seem to face consequences for outright racism, bigotry, or sexism. And that's tonight's important mini monologue. All right, we know this week Roseanne Barr, she rightly apologized for her comments, terrible comments about Valerie Jarrett. She went on to say that no one should defend her in light of what happened. Roseanne was right to apologize, but I would argue we all have to look at this moment and do better as a country. In other words, we've got to respect all races, all creeds, all backgrounds. Roseanne is a public figure. Her public comments did, in fact, hurt innocent people, and she is facing consequences for her actions. Now, she could say it on her own time, but ABC has their own decision-making, what they want to do. We also should all feel bad. A lot of innocent people lost their jobs in all of this. They have families, they have mortgages, they have rent payments, they have car payments, they have other expenses, college, kids to worry about. Now, of course, Roseanne is not the first public figure, though, to make outrageous comments, and she even admits she has been held rightly accountable. So many despicable comments, though, and actions from those on the left appear to go completely unnoticed. There's a huge double standard. In fact, many get a free pass no matter what they say or what they do, including a former writer that actually is on Roseanne's show, comedian Wanda Sykes. Before the show was canceled, remember, Sykes announced that she was quitting the show to protest Roseanne Barr's tweet. But Sykes herself has issued outrageous, extremely racial tweets, including this one. White people, they don't steal wallets, they steal countries. And of course, Sykes never faced any career-ending backlash from that tweet. And let's not forget about another ABC employee, our old friend Jimmy Kimmel. Remember, he was on Comedy Central. He even dressed up in blackface. Take a look at this.
Hello, everybody out there in TV town. This is Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz, here to tell you about Karl Malone home state, Louisiana. Sometime at night, Karl Malone look up in sky and say, what the hell going on up there? Do UFO live on other planet, phoning home like E.T.? Karl Malone read on TV about white people getting deducted by alien. Now, Karl Malone never seen no flying saucer himself, but if he do, that's going to be a spooky time.
Now, ABC CEO Bob Iger, well, he puts Jimmy Kimmel on night after night after night. That's not all. Can't forget about Kimmel's pretty despicable, disgusting, extremely sexist skits that he did. Might remember this.
Hello, welcome to Hollywood. Would you like to have sex with me?
No.
Do you like to have sex with me?
No, of course not.
Would you like to have sex? No? Please. I'm begging you. I think you'd enjoy it.
Big guy.
Yeah.
And his unit is relatively small.
Right.
Then it sort of gives you this inadequacy.
Right.
Oh, my God! Holy You had 10 seconds to then guess what is in my pants. You ready?
Set.
Go.
It looks fine.
You should use two hands. Two hands. You're going to make a fine wife.
I guess no one at ABC, Bob Iger, Disney, are outraged at all by any of that. Then, of course, you have joyless Behar on ABC's The View. Remember, she attacked the Vice President Mike Pence. Why? Because his Christian faith. Take a look at this.
What was interesting is that she said that Jesus tells Mike Pence things to say.
When was she around Mike Pence, though?
Well, obviously she was around him. I think when you have a Mike Pence that now sort of puts this religious veneer on things and calls people values voters, I think we're in a dangerous situation. Look, I'm Catholic, I'm a faithful person, but I don't know that I want my vice president speaking in tongues and having Jesus speak
like
to
I
him.
said before,
I don't know if I want that.
It's one thing to talk to Jesus. It's another thing when Jesus talks to you.
Exactly. Okay, well, that's different. That's different.
That's called mental illness, if I'm not correct.
But I think
hearing voices. My question is, can he talk to Mary Magdalene without his wife in the room?
Oh, really? Mental illness if you're a Christian? Behar was eventually forced to apologize, but only after weeks of outrage for many viewers. She still works for ABC. Next up, there's good old Keith Olbermann is back. Short-tempered, Trump-hating, leftist pundit, ABC's Bob Iger just rehired him on ESPN. And you might remember Olbermann went on a number of vile tweet storms against President Trump, at one point against him and his daughter, tweeting, "Tell your racist, white supremacist, neo-Nazi father to get the bleep out of our society." Olbermann targeting the president, former Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio, quote, "You and POTUS can go bleep yourselves, you racist Nazi bleep." Yeah, Iger just hired him to go back to ESPN. Good luck with that. Now we turn our attention to NBC News. Last night they ran a special entitled Everyday Racism in America. All right, one of the hosts that were featured, Joy Reid. You might remember Reid recently came under fire for outrageous blog posts. She denied the allegations, claiming without proof that the internet had been hacked, and the firestorm completely goes away. Everyone on the left, they just accepted what was really a bizarre explanation. NBC also frequently features, there he is, the Reverend Al Sharpton, on issues of race and social justice. The same Al Sharpton, you may remember, said all of these things.
I'm tired of the American bitch. You ain't nothing. You a punk. Now come on, do something.
We the best chicken fries in the universe. And we don't go buy some kind of sandwich chicken. Folks was in the cave when we had built empires. We learned to admire them, but they knew to admire us. We built pyramids before Donald Trump ever knew what architecture was. Yes. You want to be the only on television. The only in the newspaper. The only can talk.
He works for NBC, which also frequently features Alec Baldwin, in order to make fun of the president on Saturday Night Live, despite Baldwin's, well, he's got a temper problem. Remember this?
I hope you choke. Thank you.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Answer me, yes or no?
Yes.
If you're here when my wife and my kid come out here, you've got a big problem. You know that, don't you? Okay. Maybe you are as dumb as you look. You are with Fox, right? You're the one that almost hit my wife with the microphone in the face? Oh, you didn't? Yeah? Yeah?
I honestly did not. We have
You want to apologize to her on camera? I asked you a question. You want to apologize to her? I asked you a question. Okay, you get the out of here.
I'm leaving this message with you to tell you, you have insulted me for the last time. You have insulted me. You don't have the brains or the decency as a human being. I don't give a that you're 12 years old or 11 years old or that you're a child. So you better be ready Friday, the 20th, to meet with me. So I'm going to let you know just how I feel about what a rude little pig you really are.
He works for Bob Iger, too, at ABC, apparently. Meanwhile, over at HBO, the left is quick to throw a temper tantrum when Bill Maher speaks out against Islamic extremism, but pretty much laughs and applauds when Maher makes comments like these. Take a look.
A lot of us thought, oh, Ivanka's going to be our saving grace, you know, when he's about to nuke Finland or something. She's going to walk into the bedroom and, you know, yeah, Daddy. Don't do it, Daddy. You know,
Really? Okay, and let's look at someone else who's long been in the public eye. Screwy Louis Farrakhan. For years, Congressional Black Caucus, they hid this picture. They had it before the election in 2008. Farrakhan with Barack Obama to shield Obama for criticism given Farrakhan's racist and anti-Semitic past, including some of these classic insanity comments.
Here the Jews don't like Farrakhan, so they call me Hitler. Well, that's a good name. Hitler was a very great man. The satanic Jews, they control everything and mostly everybody. Because you see, white people deserve to die. And they know, so they think it's us coming to do. Caucasian mean weak-blooded, weak-boned, stale-faced. That pale, what the Indian call a pale man.
So as the mainstream media expressed outrage that Obama associated with that person or the American people being deceived, they purposely hid a picture, the two of them together. It's right there on your screen. Or then, of course, we got Bernadine Dorn, Bill Ayers, or, of course, Reverend Wright, the pastor of the Church of GD America. Let me be clear. I will never, ever call for any boycotts or anybody to be fired or any show to be canceled. You have the power to turn the dial. But it is important to point out what is a blatant left-wing double standard in this country. And perhaps the person who summed it up best was the White House press secretary today, Sarah Sanders, when she said this. Take a look.
The president's pointing to the hypocrisy in the media, saying that the most horrible things about this president, and nobody addresses it. Where was Bob Iger's apology to the White House staff for Jamel Hill calling the president and anyone associated with him a white supremacist? To Christians around the world for Joy Behar calling Christianity a mental illness? Where was the apology for Kathy Griffin going on a profane rant against the president on The View after a photo showed her holding President Trump's decapitated head? And where was the apology from Bob Iger for ESPN hiring Keith Olbermann after his numerous expletive-laced tweets attacking the president as a Nazi and even expanding Olbermann's role after that attack against the president's family? This is a double standard that the president is speaking about. No one is defending her comments. They're inappropriate, but that's what the point that he was making.
Well said, Sarah Sanders. And I said at the beginning of this monologue, let's think about this. It is time for all Americans, regardless of whatever your political affiliation is. Yeah, we all need to do better. We all need to hold ourselves, our friends, accountable for words and actions. We need to be one nation, one people. This country is going to succeed or fail together. If we're attacked, it's all of us attacked. We're supposed to be the United States of America, regardless of race, creed, color, national origin. My religion does teach me, all created, all of us, by the same God in his image. We can all do so much better. We've got to be the United States of America. That should be everybody's goal. Too many people have died and sacrificed for all of us to have liberty and freedom, and we owe that to every single solitary child in this country.